Greetings to the world in the mighty name of His Imperial Majesty Selassie I. Many people have never heard of him. There's a reason, and today I'm here to both explain that reason and to introduce him. His, the word his, means of he, for those belong to him, and it means our owner. The word imperial means the highest. The word majesty means the power and dignity of a sovereign. The word Haile Selassie means the first might of the Holy Trinity. The word, the Ethiopian people are the union of the Holy Trinity. The word, the initial I at the end of his name is the initial for the word Israel. The Ethiopian people are the children of Israel. Thank you, sir. He is the sole owner of this globe. Many people have never heard of him. There were times when I myself did not know who he was. What I did know is that someone was watching over me, guiding me, teaching me the things that I should know, and restricting me from the things that I should not do. Thank you, sir. For those who do not know His Imperial Majesty, this is a portrait of him. His name is R.A., capital R.A. From the word R.A., we get the word Ras and the word R-A-Y, R-A-S and R-A-Y. He is represented with a lion. In the year 2006, I went into a store and a female was inside the store. And she told me that the Lord have a call on my life and that He want me to serve Him. I was gonna walk away, but I heard, she told me something that I know that only the Lord would know. And when she spoke to me the second time, I did not hear her voice. I heard the voice of the Lord. Thank you, sir. I canceled all my transaction for that day, and I started to make preparation to go to church. The following Sunday, that was a Saturday, and on the Sunday I went to church. And 3 weeks later, I was baptized in Jesus' name. While I was in the church, I was in the church for 1 year. And one day, while I was in the church, an angel came to the church. He was sitting in a black chair and he smiled at me. He was there smiling at me until he left. His whole garment was in the color of green, yellow, and red. And he was just looking at me and smiling. I was looking around to see if anyone else seen, but it didn't seem so, because everyone was continuing to do what they were doing. And after he left, and the following Sunday, an angel came to the church again. This time he is in the form of a man. He came and he sat beside us, and the Sunday school lesson that Sunday was about the Jews and Jesus, why the Jews did not accept Jesus. And he told us that the Lord was coming to take the Jews to court. He told me with the eye that they were in our places. Thank you, sir. Another Sunday, while the preacher was preaching in the church, His Imperial Majesty came in through the door that entered to the rostrum. And the preacher was preaching from the Bible, and he was tapping his hand on his cheekbone like this, and he was piercing the rostrum and listening to every word that the preacher was saying. Thank you, sir. He was wearing a gray suit with a beige, he was wearing a gray suit, and his tie matched his suit, and he was wearing a gray shirt, and his cap matched the shirt, and he have a red band around it. And he have a red rose on his left breast pocket. Since that Sunday, I have never been to church, but only twice. Because that following week, that same week, I met a Ras. He was wearing the same red rose. I told him about his Imperial Majesty and that rose. And he gave me the first lesson in etymology. Thank you, sir. Then he took me to his teacher in Brooklyn. And when I went there, his Imperial Majesty told me that the teacher name is Abba Samuels. Thank you, sir. His Imperial Majesty, I went to Abba Samuels for a while, and His Imperial Majesty gave me a command, which I decided to follow. It was against the policy of the school, and I leave after Abba Samuels gave me the Constitution of Ethiopia and the proclamation of His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I. After I leave Abba Samuels, His Imperial Majesty placed me into that apartment where I lived for many years, and he taught me etymology himself. Then he inspired me to write a book. The Constitution of Ethiopia, the constitution of a country, is the written laws of a land. Thank you, sir. Those laws are written by government only. The government of a country is a person who is considered to be, is connected to the owner. A government of a country is a person who is connected to the owner or bloodline of that, or of a sovereign. In a book called The Selective Speeches of His Imperial Majesty, it is stated that the land was given to him from our fathers as a free gift to the nation. Thank you, sir. And he further stated in the Constitution that Ethiopia comprises of all the territories, including the islands and the territorial water under the Ethiopian crown. This is the Constitution of Ethiopia. I rewrote it. I did it with the etymologies to show the meaning of the word. I highlighted the words and I did the etymologies. The word indivisible means cannot be divided. And it says the sovereign rights therein are inalienable, which means that it may not be taken away or transformed.
Okay.
It says all Ethiopian subject, which is all people with dark complexion, whether living within or without the empire, it constitutes the Ethiopian people. It says the imperial dignity shall remain perpetually attached to the line of Haile Selassie I, descendants of King Haile Selassie, whose line descended without interruption from the dynasty of Menelik I, son of the Queen of Ethiopia, the Queen of Sheba, and King Solomon of Jerusalem. In 1978, President Jimmy Carter, I don't know what vengeance they are carrying for the Indians, because we were classified from the beginning as the Indian to blaspheme the name of Israel. First they wrote in the Bible in Psalms 83 verse 5, he says, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name Israel shall be no longer in remembrance. So we know now that is His Imperial Majesty they are fighting against, because He is Israel and we are His children. So now after they classify us as the Indian for us not to know ourselves, because in other books they show that the Indians were dark skinned people. Okay, and that's why we are called the West Indians. Now, President Jimmy Carter, after they had traveled from Alcatraz, they went there to plant them, ritually plant them at Alcatraz Island. They marched from Alcatraz to Washington, D.C., where President Carter put pen to paper and overstepped that law. And they built a law called Congress that does not constitute the Ethiopian people. So now they gave them the Bible so that they can put them in the church and kill them through the Bible slowly. Because the Bible, if you look up the word Antichrist, it says the Bible, and it is here to spread universal evil. And it will be conquered, finally conquered at the second coming of Christ. This is His Imperial Majesty second coming. This is His word.